system. Okay, anatomical part of the nervous system. Anatomical part means the structural part of your nervous system. Okay, now your whole nervous system, the whole nervous system is divided into two. The one which lies at the center. At the center means at the midline of your body. The part of the nervous system which lies at the midline of your body or at the axis of your body is called the central nervous system. Called the central nervous system. And the part of your nervous system which lies peripherally is called the peripheral nervous system. Okay. Now, the brain, along with the brainstem, the cerebellum, and the whole spinal cord, these structures lie at the center of your body. So the brain, spinal cord, brain along with the brainstem and the cerebellum, along with the spinal cord, comes under the central nervous system, CNS. Okay, and the rest of the nerves, all the peripheral nerves, which are arising from the central nervous system, comes under PNS. All other nerves. Okay. So your nervous system mainly divided into two. The one which governs the main function of the nervous system is the central one, the mid-axis one, the central nervous system. And the one which arises from the central nervous system is the peripheral one, the peripheral nervous system. Okay. Now, the functional unit of your nervous system is your neuron. The functional unit of your nervous system is the neuron. Neuron means the nerve cells. Okay. Neuron means the nerve cells. So this neuron is the functional unit of your nervous system. This part of your neuron is called the cell body or neuronal body. And this part is called the axon of the nervous system of the neuron. This one is called the cell body of the neuron. This one is called the axon of the neuron. Now the cell body and the axon of the neuron is termed differently in CNS and PNS. CNS means the central nervous system. PNS means the peripheral nervous system. The same cell body in the CNS is called the ganglia. Whereas it's called the nucleus, right? This one is called the nucleus. It's called the nucleus. Whereas the same cell body and the peripheral nervous system is called the ganglia. Okay, like the sympathetic ganglion, parasympathetic ganglion, and the dorsal root ganglion. Like the sympathetic ganglion, the same body, the cell body. These are the cell bodies. Okay, the sympathetic ganglion, the parasympathetic ganglion, and the dorsal root ganglions. These are the cell body only of the neurons. Okay, sympathetic ganglion, parasympathetic ganglion, and dorsal root ganglion. These are the collection of the cell bodies of the neuron in peripheral nervous system. The same collection of the cell bodies in the central nervous system is called the nucleus. Okay. Now, this part is called the axon, and this axon in central nervous system is termed differently, like the tract, like your pyramidal tract. Fasciculus, like fasciculus gracilis, fasciculus gracilis, and fasciculus cuneatus, like the capsule, like the antenna capsule, like the lemniscus. Example is lateral and medial lemniscus. We'll discuss these things later on in detail. For now, just remember the names. Okay. Okay. So the tract, the axon, the neuron axon in the central nervous system, the collection of the axons or the fibers, the central nervous system are called either the tract, like the pyramidal tract, or fasciculus, like the fasciculus gracilis, fasciculus cuneatus, or the capsule, like the antenna capsule, or the lemniscus, like the lateral and the medial lemniscus. But this axon and the peripheral nervous system is called the knobs, the simple knobs. The knobs are the axons of the neuron in peripheral nervous system. Yeah. Now, there are two exceptions to this terminology. There are two exceptions to this terminology. One is the basal ganglia. Basal ganglia. Now, basal ganglia is present in CNS, inside the brain. The basal ganglia is present inside the brain, and this is a collection of nucleus. This is present inside the CNS brain, and this one is collection of cell bodies. So the collection of cell bodies inside CNS should be called as the nucleus. But this one is called the ganglia. This is a misnomer. This one should be called as the basal nucleus. This one should be called as the basal nucleus. Okay. Another exception is your optic nerve. Your optic nerve. Now look, optic nerve. This optic nerve is the extension of, this one is the extension of diencephalon of forebrain. Okay. Now the diencephalon of the forebrain. What is diencephalon? I'll tell you. Okay. So the diencephalon of the forebrain extends anteriorly to form the optic nerve, and this diencephalon is present in the CNS, and this extension is the axonal part of the neuron. So the axon inside the CNS should be called either the fasciculus or tract or the capsule or the lemniscus. And the knob part, knob terminology is used in PNS. So the optic knob should be called the optic tract. Optic tract. Okay. Okay. Up to this clear? Okay. Now let's have a look at the neurodevelopment. एम्ब्रियोलॉजी रे पढ़ाई छी कि नहीं रे न्यूरोडेवलपमेंट?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Now look. This is the baby inside the uterus. Okay. This one is a fetus. Look, the fetus term is used after 8 weeks. Before that, the embryo term is used. Okay. Now, this fetus, this one is the dorsum of the fetus. This is the dorsum or back of the fetus. Dorsum of the fetus. Okay, clear? This is the eye. This one is the umbilical cord. This one gets attached to the placenta inside the uterus. Clear? So this is the back of the baby, back of the fetus. Okay. Now the most superficial layer here, the most superficial layer here is obviously the skin-like structure. And this is more superficial means this one is present the most outer or ecto to the embryo. So this one is called the superficial or surface ectoderm. So the more superficial layer which we can see on the dorsum of the baby is the surface ectoderm. Now, during the gastrulation means during the formation of 3 germ layers, the most superficial layer is your surface ectoderm. The most superficial layer is the surface ectoderm. This one is the most superficial, which you can see from the outer surface. Okay. Just beneath the surface ectoderm, when we look or when we dissect the surface ectoderm, just beneath the surface ectoderm, there's another layer. There's another layer. There's another layer here, just beneath the surface ectoderm. This layer is the mesoderm. The intraembryonic mesoderm. Just beneath the mesoderm, there's another layer it is the endoderm. Okay. Now this is the black one is the surface ectoderm. Okay. Then comes the mesoderm. And the deeper one, the most deeper one, innermost one is the endoderm. Okay, now look, baby is attached here like this to the placenta, but it's covered here by a amniotic sac. covered here by a amniotic sac. Here is the amniotic sac, which is the pouch around the baby. And within the amniotic sac is your amniotic fluid. This amniotic fluid provides the cushion to movement of the baby. Provides the cushion for the movement of the baby. Okay, remember the amniotic fluid doesn't provide the nutrition to baby. Okay, it's only for the temperature regulation and your movement like this. Okay, movement for the cushion of the baby. Okay, but it doesn't provide the nutrition to the baby. Okay, so here is your amniotic sac filled with the amniotic fluid. Filled with the amniotic fluid. Okay. Okay. Now here is your now here is your amniotic sac filled with the amniotic fluid is present outer to the surface ectoderm on the dorsum of the fetus. Okay. After this clear or not? This is amniotic sac. Amniotic sac with amniotic fluid. Okay, the same thing. This one. Okay. Now, after this red one, the mesoderm. Okay. In the central portion, in the central portion means, look, this is the back of the baby. Okay. Now, if this is the baby and I'm looking from the back, baby is like this. Okay, baby is facing front and you are looking from the back of the baby and you are looking at the dorsum of the baby. Okay, now this one is the dorsum of the baby or posterior surface of the baby. Okay, now look, in the dorsum of the baby or posterior surface of the baby, in the midline, this is the midline or the axis. Okay. In the midline, the mesoderm, the most superficial is obviously the ectoderm. Most superficial layer is ectoderm. Okay. Beneath the ectoderm is your mesoderm. Now I have removed the ectoderm part and I am looking at the mesoderm now. Okay. Now in the central portion, the mesoderm condenses. The mesoderm condenses. The mesoderm condenses to form a cord-like structure, a solid cord-like structure. Solid cord-like structure in the center. Okay. Now, if I'm gonna draw this in this diagram, okay. If I'm gonna draw this in this diagram, in the center, this one is the center. Okay. Okay. You are looking the cross section. You have taken the cross section here, and you are looking the section from one end. Okay. Now this one is the mesodome. Okay. This is the center of the mesodome. This is the center of the mesodome. Okay. Now this center portion condenses to form a cord-like structure. Okay, in the center, and this cord-like structure is called the notochord. It's called the notochord. Okay. Now the part of the surface ectoderm which lies just above the notochord is stimulated now by the notochord. This notochord now stimulates the part of the surface ectoderm which lies just above it. Okay. Now this black surface ectoderm is stimulated now. Now this surface ectoderm, by the stimulation of the notochord, forms a specialized type of ectoderm. Okay, now look. Now this one is your notochord. Now this portion of the surface ectoderm is now stimulated to form a specialized type of ectoderm, and this ectoderm is called this part of the surface ectoderm which lies just above the notochord is called the neuroectoderm. Okay. Now this part of the surface ectoderm, which is called neuroectoderm, now invaginates into the mesodome. This part of the look, this is the surface ectoderm. Beneath this is your notochord. Now this portion of the surface ectoderm is now modified to form the neuroectoderm. Now this neuroectoderm invaginates into the mesodome to form a groove-like structure. Okay. Now this surface ectoderm, this part of the ectoderm. Now this rest part of the surface. Now look, in the center is your notochord. Okay. Which stimulates the overlying surface ectoderm to form a specialized type of ectoderm called the neuroectoderm. Here the rest of the mesodome. Okay. Now this blue color is the neuroectoderm. Now this blue color neuroectoderm now starts to invaginate into the mesodome. Okay. Now this blue one, now look, here is your neuroectoderm. This portion is called the neuroectoderm. Now the neuroectoderm starts to invaginate into the mesodome. By invagination, this part of the surface looks like a groove. It's like a groove, and this is now called a neural groove. Now the neural ectoderm is now forming the neural groove. The neural groove. Okay, this part is called neural groove. Now both the ends of the neural plate ectoderm to which is attached to the surface ectoderm. These are the both edges at which the neural ectoderm is attached to the surface ectoderm. Okay. At this edge also the surface ectoderm, modifies into two specialized type of cell. One is called the neural crest cell. Another one is called ectodermal placoid. Okay, now look, the black one, look, here was your surface ectoderm, and here was your notochord, and this is the rest of the mesoderm. Okay, now what happens is the upper layer of the surface ectoderm, the part of the surface ectoderm which lies just above the notochord is modified to form the neural plate ectoderm or neuroectoderm. Now this neuroectoderm invaginates into the mesoderm. Okay. Now this one invaginates into the mesoderm. Endoderm lies as such. Okay. Now at these edges, at the edges to which the neural groove is attached to the surface ectoderm, at this edge, the surface ectoderm differentiates into two specialized type of cells. The surface ectoderm differentiates into two specialized type of cells. And now it's the neural group. It's the notochord, and this is the endoderm. Where is the rest of the mesoderm? Okay. Now at these edges, the surface ectoderm differentiates into two specialized type of cell. And these cells are the neural crest cell and ectodermal placoid. Okay. Now all these three structures, the neural groove, the ectodermal placoid, and the neural crest cell detach from the surface ectoderm now. Okay. All these three structures detach from the surface ectoderm now. Like this, and like this. Okay, so this one is neural crest cell, this is ectodermal placoid, and this one is your neural group. Beneath this is your notochord, and here is your endodome. Okay. Now what happens is all the free edges fuse with each other. The free edges of the surface ectoderm fuse with each other to form a continuous sheet of surface ectoderm. And in future, this surface ectoderm forms the epidermis of the skin. Now, these both the ends fuse to each other. Okay. Now, both the edges of the neural groove fuse with each other. Now, both the edges of the neural groove fuse with each other. Okay, to form a continuous tube-like structure. Now, this tube-like structure is called the neural tube. Tube-like structure is neural tube. And these two specialized cells lie parallel to the neural tube. The neural crest cell and the ectodermal plaque lie parallel to the neural tube. Okay, just beneath it is your neural notochord, and at the side is your mesodome. So all these structures, after getting detached from the surface ectoderm, lie within the mesodome. Now all these structures are in mesodome. Okay. So the neural tube is formed now. Okay. So the neural tube is formed now. Now look, this fusion of both the ends of the neural groove occurs fusion of both the ends of neural groove to form neural tube occurs at 20th day of intrauterine life, on 20th day of the baby. Okay. Now this one occurs at the cervical region. This fusion doesn't occur at a time at the whole neural group. Look, you are looking transverse section. You are looking the transverse section like this. Okay, but you are looking the transverse section. Okay, and both the edges of the neural group were open towards the surface. Look, here is your amniotic cavity with amniotic fluid. Here is your amniotic cavity with amniotic fluid. This one is the surface or the dorsum of the baby, right? So here is your amniotic cavity with amniotic fluid. Here is your amniotic cavity with amniotic fluid. So this one is amniotic cavity. This is your amniotic cavity, and on the surface here is your amniotic cavity. Okay, amniotic cavity. Now, before 20th day of intrauterine life, the two groups are open towards the amniotic cavity. The surface ectoderm invaginates into the mesodome to form a group, and above the group is your amniotic cavity. So both the ends or both the surfaces of the groove are open towards the amniotic cavity. Okay. On 20th day, at the cervical region, at 20th day, at the cervical region, this portion of the neural groove fuses first. The cervical region, this portion of the neural tube fuses first. So the fusion of the neural groove to form the neural tube occurs at 20th day at cervical region. At cervical region of the neural group. Now, the fusion of the whole neural tube progresses cranially and caudally. Now, the fusion progresses cranially and caudally, like a jeep, like a chain. Okay. So the fusion first occurs here. Next, the fusion occurs cranially and caudally. Okay. Now look. The neural tube was open towards the dorsum of the baby. And also the neural tube is open on both the ends. On both the ends means the neural tube is the part of the surface ectoderm. Okay. The neural tube was that this one is the surface ectoderm. Okay. This is the dorsum of the baby. This one is the dorsum of the baby. And this is the surface ectoderm. Okay, this is the surface ectoderm. This one is the dorsum of the baby. Okay, now the at the dorsum of the baby, the surface ectoderm invaginates, okay, into the mesoderm to form a groove-like structure. Okay, now this groove is open above to the amniotic cavity, and also this groove, this canal is open cranially and caudally. This canal is open cranially and caudally. Clear? Now, this jeep-like fusion from the cervical region to the cranial end and the caudal end occurs from 20th week onwards. Okay. Now, the main aim of the jeep-like fusion is to fuse the surface of the groove along with both the ends of the groove. Okay. Now, cranially or towards the head end, the neural tube. Neural tube is actually the embryological remnant or embryological source of your central nervous system. Okay, the neural tube is the embryological source of the central nervous system. That means the whole neural tube develops into the brain and the spinal cord. Okay, the cranial end develops into the brain and the distal end develops into the spinal cord. Okay, so the cranial end fuses completely at 25th day of intrauterine life. Okay, so the cranial end fuses completely at 25th day of intrauterine life, and the caudal end means the spinal cord fuses distally at 3 days later, 28th day of intrauterine life. 28th day intrauterine life. Okay, now look, this one was your mesoderm. So this is your notochord. Just above the notochord is your neural tube. Notochord is a solid structure. Just above the notochord is your neural tube. Okay, and neural tube is accompanied by two another structures. The neural plate cell and ectodermal cord just above the node of neural tube is your surface ectoderm. Okay, just beneath the structures are the endoderm. Okay,